Welcome to the Pushing Limits podcast, where we explore the people, places, and products that are pushing the limits. I'm your host, Rich Vargas.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Pushing Limits podcast. I'm here today with my boy André. He is the owner of Fishco Tackle Shop in Ensenada, Baja California, as well as your new Director of Business Development for Everglades, Latin America. How's it going, brother?
All good, man. What's going on?
Hey, good to have you on the show, man.
Thank you.
So we're out here right now in the East Cape for the Bisbee's East Cape, doing a little bit of marketing. And Andre wanted to come on the show, kind of tell us a little bit about Baja and talk a little bit about Everglades.
Right. So as you all know, Baja, it's a great destination. It's a 2-hour flight from San Diego, and they have everything here. Nightlife, fishing is crazy. It's you can find striped marlin right offshore, like maybe 5-10 minutes from the marina.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's like a unique place in the world where they have perfect weather. It's hot in summer. It's not too hot, not too cold in the winter. Everything. It's just a great destination to be in.
Did you grow up here in Baja California?
I did. I grew up in North Baja and Ensenada. Having this binational lifestyle, I guess you can say, right? Crossing the border. It's like a regular thing for me, right? I do grocery shopping in San Diego and then go to school in Mexico. It's normal for me.
Nice.
To live this duality.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome that we have, it's like you're in a completely different world, but realistically,
Exactly.
It's extremely close. Call it an hour and a half flight from San Diego. And I mean, for me, I cross the border all the time, going down to Ensenada, Rosarito, and to fish down there. And we're very blessed, especially in Southern California, to have this diversity so close to us, right? Because the waters are different, and that's just, the farther south you go into the Pacific. But we also got the Sea of Cortez, which in itself is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, there's lots of life, lots of different species, for different kinds of sports, right? Like snorkeling, spearfishing, not only fishing.
Right.
You can find species like dorado, striped all kinds of marlin. Yellowtails are crazy.
What's your favorite place growing up to go fish here in Baja California?
I'll have to say Bahía, Los Ángeles.
Really?
It's about 7 to 8 hour drive from Ensenada, and it's just amazing. It's a small town, and everything turns around sport fishing, right? It's all hardcore fishing with pangas. You know what that is.
Oh yeah.
and it's crazy how many fish you can catch in one day.
This episode is brought to you by Pelagic Gear, built for life on the water. Pelagic delivers gear trusted by pros and worn by those who live the ocean lifestyle. Check them out at pelagicgear.com.
I love it, man. I've done a couple trips down to LA Bay myself, and man, I mean, the Cabrilla down there, you got yellowtail, a little bit of everything,
Gulf grouper.
Yeah.
We just last week we saw striped marlin there.
Really?
And yeah, lots of species and lots of life.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, we do a lot of spearfishing down there. I mean, the water's clear, the weather's warm, and it's one of those places that I still feel is like old school Baja, right? You got old school, what it used to be, call it 30 years ago, where it's, a little bit more rural desert, these small little, pueblos that, you can get your basic supplies, but it's cool, man, because, real Baja, you get off the beaten path and there's so much cool shit to see. I mean, so much life. And
there's this kind of mystique of out of the civilization, right? That really it's Baja. That's what's Baja is. Right. And it's like out in the country and no big cities, no Wi-Fi, no internet.
Right.
And that's what makes it so a little bit special,
right?
Unique.
And it's cool. I mean, because obviously guys like us, I mean, we love that. I crave the adventure. I try to push the limits. I like to go places and do things that I think that, most people may never see, or at least your average person. But that's not, always for everybody. So, even for those who want something a little bit more mainstream, I mean, Baja can offer that too. La Paz, the capital, is absolutely beautiful. a growing city with lots of stuff to do around there, from the islands to the snorkeling. They got whale sharks certain times a year.
Beautiful beaches like Balandra.
Yeah.
The sightings are, oh my God, are unbelievable. You can, dock your boat there, snorkel, have a beer on the water, and then go back and do some fishing as well, because there's crazy fishing in La Paz as well.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balandra in particular, it's one of those places I see a lot of posts on Instagram where they're like, "This isn't Greece. You would think this is Greece. This is
Greece.
Baja."
It's Baja, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just an hour, 2-hour flight from San Diego, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so much stuff for people to see. And then Cabo, I'm sure most people, know Cabo San Lucas, the big resorts, the all-inclusives, all that kind of stuff. But, man, I mean, it's just growing. And now here where we're at right now in the East Cape is, I would say, one of my top picks, because it's kind of like that mix between the two.
Right. You fly into Cabo, and it's an hour drive up north. And, I mean, it's close to the city and close to the international airport, but you still get that vibe that it's Baja.
Right.
I was telling you yesterday that I was running, and, hey, I'm in this dirt road in the middle of nowhere, following the cop to help me get out of here to Barriles. And that was the only way out, right? And you're like, you gotta love Baja, man. That is truly what it is, and have everything around it and everything close. Like Cabo San Lucas is a couple hours from here driving, and you have all that nightlife. You have the marina that's always full, so it's always full for one reason, right?
Right. Exactly.
Fishing is amazing. Sightings are amazing. It's a great place to have a boat in.
Absolutely. And the cool thing, especially where we're at here in the East Cape, is, there's room for boats here.
Yep.
Especially the center consoles and things like the Everglades, which I think, do really well. There's 2 Everglades that, we saw yesterday that are sitting right here in Buena Vista. And it's cool because the water's so calm that there's certain places where you have the ability to launch these boats right on the beach. They utilize it's Baja the way they do it with a tractor.
They were using a tractor to launch the boat on the beach. It's hardcore, but it's doable and it's there, man.
Yeah,
so let's do it.
It's impressive. I mean, it's kind of cool to see. I mean, it's got to be this 1990s, 80s tractor that they're launching these
all
boats
rusted,
with. Right,
and it's still going.
But it works. They do it, and they're launching 36, to 40. Even I think there's a couple 40s out there.
How they do it?
Yeah, so I mean, it's doable. So you kind of have the best of both worlds, where traditionally, these rural places like this, you could only, maybe get a panga out here, and that was really all you could do, the traditional style panga beach launching, or you're taking you're big sport fisher and you're doing a multi-day. But now you can explore Baja, you could put these high performance center consoles in the water, and like possibilities are endless.
Yes.
I mean, from here, right in kind of being in a central point, we've got Cabo Pulmo, which is just around the bend. Some of the best diving I've seen. I mean,
a national reserve, lots of life on the reef. And just be able to get there and experience it. It's really, really unique.
I love it. Do you ever dive or anything like that?
I have in Cabo Pulmo a few years back with my wife. We stayed there for a couple days, and oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. The crystal clear water. It's something else.
I would say one of the best probably experiences. Top 3 in my life that I've had are probably 20 miles away from here, and out of La Ventana, we took some pangas out, and we were going to try and swim with the orcas.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and we swam with right out there off the tip of Cerralvo, and they were, man, I mean, they come through and they're chasing all the mobile arrays, and I mean, there's not a lot of places in the world that you can do that, and right here in Baja California, it's like, you got it all.
And talking in Bahía Los Ángeles, you can swim with the whale shark over there.
Yeah.
They have a season where the whale shark goes in the bay, and you can see it from the beach.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how close to the nature Baja really is.
Yeah, I love it, man. So I'd love to see these boats out here. I mean, now that Director of Business Development for Everglades.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good. So growing up fishing in Baja, and I'm sure you fished everything from pongas to different types of center consoles. I mean, what is it about Everglades that you think will allow these boats to outperform in this environment?
So what makes Everglades great is the ride, right? It's an amazing ride, and it's thanks to what's it called, ram cap,
Right.
that makes the boat so solid, and breaks through the waves like butter, and it's just like a Cadillac on the water, right?
100%. I mean, that ram cap design, right? Originally designed by Bob Doherty.
Yes.
And, a lot of people, everyone knows, the Boston Whaler, the unsinkable hull, but like the Everglades has perfected it.
Yes.
Right? It's an extremely sturdy boat. It's quiet. It's comfortable. And with the ram cap design also gives you the safety factor because it is truly an unsinkable boat.
It is
right?
truly unsinkable.
So, being out here in Baja, yes, we've got, a lot of resources now that we didn't have 20 years ago with Cabo, San Jose, and La Paz being right there. But for those who do like to explore and push the limits and see what's around that bend or over the horizon, right? I mean, having the comfort and the comfort factor of knowing that you've got an unsinkable boat, I mean, that allows you to push the limit a little bit more.
And not only unsinkable, that every inch of that boat is thing to be performance, right? And it's meant to be hardcore fisherman boat, right? You can beat the shit out of the boat and it's still gonna go, right? You're gonna break through the waves, nothing's gonna rattle. Right. It's super smooth, super sturdy, and you have both the best of both worlds, right? The leisure and the fishing capabilities.
Right. I mean, and the ride speaks for itself. I ran a 335 for a couple seasons for a client of mine. And I mean, we put hours on that thing. Yeah. And we were fishing out in conditions where there were not any of the only other boats out there that we saw with us was, it was Nate Isom on the Freeman. Fuck, I can't remember the name of that. 42 Freeman.
Okay.
That's it. That was out there. And so they're out there. We're getting hammered. And I mean, it was big. There's water like literally just going everywhere. And not that the boat's not a dry boat, but it was big. Like borderline shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah.
But we did. Man, we've never at any point did we not feel safe. Right. The boat just handled, it's a tank. It's so, efficient and heavy that, it was able to get us back. And, I was out there with my buddy. It's funny. So it was my buddy's first trip to California to come and spearfish bluefin. We were spearfishing when we were out at Cortez Bank.
Where is he from?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah. Sean Haskell. So he came out. I was like, hey, man, I need someone to help me guide for a week. And we were with a client. We were staying in Catalina. And it was when everything was just firing off at like Cortez. So we're going out to Cortez and, it was getting a little snotty out there. But, our client was like, hey, like, I'm here to fish. Let's do it. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hey, if you're down, I'm down. Yeah.
So anybody that's been fishing in the Pacific is a dry boat is very important.
Oh, 100%.
Because it gets cold. Right, it gets cold. You're breaking through waves, and water gets in the boat. You're all soaking wet. Right. You need to be wearing all full bib, jacket and everything. And then Everglades is great at that. It's a dry boat. And
extremely,
it keeps you super dry. Yeah. And it just so the more comfortable you're in your boat, the further you can go in terms of fishing. Right. Pushing the limits.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean we're out there, and it's big, and dude, we stayed dry. We were able to get back, and we were running out there with the other boats that are had another 10 feet on us, and we're like, oh damn, all right. So that was like one moment for me where I was like, I was really truly able to see, because I truly felt like I pushed this boat beyond the limits of what it should have been pushed, and it delivered for me. And that gives me the confidence too, especially like as a charter captain. And now that, we are, a dealer for these, that I can tell people wholeheartedly that, I've pushed these boats in these conditions. I've kind of seen it all with these boats, and they will deliver every single time. So, It's awesome, man. I mean, it's a great product, and I'm excited to see these things out here in Latin America, in Mexico, and Costa Rica.
And not only that, I mean, we of course we were talking about fishing because I love fishing, right? But I also have a wife and a kid, and being able to feel secure and safe bringing my wife and kid, because obviously they're not hardcore boating persons, you know,
Right.
and then just be able to feel safe bringing them on board, have a wonderful time at the beach. Another thing is like you can tow a boat from San Diego here.
Yeah.
And if, especially like a 28, you can tow it no problem over here, launch it, have a great weekend, a great week, and bring the family, and then the next day go on a hardcore fishing trip. You know, you can do
Right.
both.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about the Everglades.
And they're made to do it too. I mean, you've got, especially like on the bow, right? So you've got your removable seats.
Yeah.
So you put your seats in there, you know, the family's there, everyone relaxing, having a good time. Then you're going out with the boys, you pull
Let's
it,
go.
you raise up your table. Now you've got a casting platform. And I mean, that right there, look at, you know, Dwayne Diego has his 335.
Yeah.
That's as hardcore fishing as it gets. You know, and that thing is a hardcore every single day, you know, a couple 100 days a year on the water, slaying cows,
Yeah.
you know, bloody decks, and he's absolutely crushing it, right? And you can have that. But then, you know, you've also got the guys that, these are yacht tenders as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I see a lot of these boats. There's actually a 39 here that's towed by, man, I think it's like a larger Freddy or something like that. It's a tender for that. And yeah, man, ultra luxury. Right,
Yes.
because you can kind of choose as you're doing your build, you know, what kind of features you want to have. You want to do the teak finishes, you know, things like that. And you know, the newer models have AC, Seakeeper,
Everything.
like, everything you could ever want.
Everything. It's really a versatile boat. It's really versatile boat. You can use it for lots of things, right? And it's high quality everywhere you see.
Yeah.
And that, you know, us at the Everglades, that's one of the main things that we can go through things 3, 4, 5 times if we need to,
Right.
and make sure really that every little inch of boat it's perfect to deliver to the customer, and not only the boat itself, but the service that we bring to the customer, and we are there for them every step of the way, right? Every concern, they'll talk directly to the engineers. You know, everything they might think of, we are there to answer questions.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Customer satisfaction is definitely number one for Everglades, and you guys have always shown it. You know, not that we've had many minor issues we've ever had, it's always been addressed quickly, and that, you know, goes to show a lot, because, you know, as we all know with boats, it's not a matter of, you know, what will go wrong. It's like, you know, when. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? And when it does, it's like, hey, am I supported? You know, am I going to make sure that anything that happens is covered and things like that? So, you know, that's huge, especially being out here in Baja and Latin America as well.
That's another thing that we want to, you know, focus on. It's service, right? And now with me on the team and having somebody in Latin America overall, for example, your partnership with Picante, that you're not going to be present in Cabo San Lucas. If a customer has a boat here, they'll have direct communication every step of the way, right?
That's
and
awesome.
I'll just, you know, I'll be in touch with you and with Irving, and anything you guys need for the customer, we're just going to show up and be there, right?
That's awesome.
And that's one of many things that could worry a customer buying or taking a boat to Mexico. Okay, all right, I'll take a boat there, but what happens if something goes wrong? What happens if I need a service for anything, right?
Right.
And that's what we're here for.
And I love that, man. And I appreciate, you know, that Everglades is making the investment to see, you know, the potential that Latin America has, because Latin America in the Pacific coast specifically, it's a fisherman's paradise.
Yes.
It's a haven. We have some of the best fishing in the world. If you've never been out to Gordo Bank, you've never been fishing out of Cabo San Lucas or the Sea of Cortez or the fads off of, you know, Costa Rica, you know, it's absolutely incredible. You know, so we've got so much here in the Pacific that we have to offer in terms of fishing, and you know, it's now time to start seeing, you know, a lot of these boats out here. So making sure that, people have the confidence that, hey, I'm going to be supported, in all of Latin America. Because we're making a big push also in Costa Rica. We're set up there in Pez Vela and Flamingo. And, I've been running trips right there out at Oaxaca for a while with, my buddy Sean. And, man, you're starting to see a lot of these, center consoles and stuff to come out there. Boston Whalers there. And, everyone knows Boston Whaler. They're badass boats, right? But knowing the history behind, hey, Bob Doherty left Boston Whaler, started Everglades, perfected the design, and I think over the years has maintained the fishing heritage a little bit better than Whaler has, and maybe I'm a little biased, but I think it'll outperform in any day of the week.
Just a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit. That's okay though.
No, it's okay.
That's all right. But
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. But knowing that customers are going to have the support here in Latin America is huge. So we're stoked on that. Yeah, man. So it's cool to see kind of the change and the transition, right? In that's happened here in Baja, right? So it kind of started off originally, it was all pangas.
Yeah.
Right? It was just all the old pangueros, and we talk about how they'd get out there and like no sonar, no radar, no nothing, and like they'd be on the high spot, right? And it was just like that old school. Then it transitioned into, you started to see, a lot of these bigger sport fishers and stuff like that coming in. But now, man, these center consoles are really taking over for a couple different reasons. One, the speed, the efficiency, your range, things like that you have on these. And
the walk around, perfect for casting on bow.
Exactly. Yeah, the bow fishing. I mean, like you don't see too many, big sporties as like the West Coast rails and stuff like that. And like I love the lines of like a proper Viking and just like, looking at the bow and like just how aggressive it looks. But then I'm like, man, that's all that wasted space.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Where I'm gonna cast.
Yeah, I still have a Hatteras. I have my 55 Hatteras, and I've got like the big West Coast rails on the front. I've got all the shit on the bow, and like it may not look the greatest, but that's a lot of room up there. You know, that's like half the damn boat.
Yes.
But man, the space, the versatility, the speed, and the biggest thing being maintenance. Yeah. Right? Because man, dude, fuck, we blew I had Detroits in my Viking, my Hatteras, 8V92s. Right in the middle of a season, boom, blew an engine. And then next thing you know, we're down for a season. We're done.
Yeah. You have to go back to the shop.
You're screwed. Yeah, because none of that's happening quick, right? Yeah. And, now with the center consoles, it's like, look, if you're a charter operator or even you're just, a leisure fisherman.
Time is money.
Time is money, 100%. Or even just time on the water, right? I mean, no one wants to be in the yard. People want to be out fishing. And let's say something catastrophic happens. Worst case scenario, you're slapping a new one on. It's relatively quick, right? So, that's definitely a big selling point for these boats down here. But it's definitely cool to see. One cool thing that we're doing at Pacific Icon Yachts with our Everglades, I don't know if you've seen Dwayne Diego's 335.
Yeah, he has a custom bait tank, right? It was built specifically for him and what he needed for the West Coast.
Yeah, just for him. And I mean, one of the big things, right? The West Coast is different than Florida, right? Even though these boats they're made in Florida, right? They've got basically their DNA is from Florida. They perform exceptionally well here in the Pacific, and we've now done a specialized Pacific Icon custom with that West Coast bait system. Because here in the West, we know bait is everything. Yes. We roll with a shit ton of bait, whether it's sardine, anchovy. Bait is king.
Yeah.
So Dwayne's got a custom bluewater bait system right behind basically his helm chairs.
Yeah.
And with his additional ones in the transom, and it's a game changer. He murders out there.
You know how it's us as fishermen, you go fishing lots of places, and everywhere is different, and you bring something home with you, right? You learn here, you learn there. And then you go back home and you share all these ideas. And I think that's one of the things that we're great at Everglades, listening to our customers and be able to do things like Dwayne needed to in his boat for the West Coast. So we're learning every day, and from our customers, we listen to them and we deliver, right? We are able to build things like that and really build something for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was one thing that I was getting a lot, as people from the West Coast who were looking at these boats, and I've had a couple clients who are like, I want more bait. Well, let's figure it out for you. Let's build something. And we were able to do that, and it worked phenomenally. So, we've got kind of the plans, the molds, everything we need to do. So if you buy an Everglades, specifically, and you want to do something, custom to it for the West Coast, we could do it. No problem.
Exactly.
You tell us what you want, we'll make it happen.
That's what we're here for.
Always say yes, right?
Always say yes.
I don't know. I may not have an answer, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I love it. The other cool thing we got going on right now that is I think very beneficial to guys who may want boats here in Baja California is our Boat as a Business program. So one cool thing that we're doing is, let's say you're buying a vacation home down here in Baja California, where there's Cabo, San Jose, the East Cape. You want to put a boat down here. Basically, we have our Boat as a Business where you buy your boat and, basically we'll do an offshore delivery. So you're not paying the California sales tax. Deliver your boat down here, which is huge, Yeah, absolutely. And then we put it into an LLC. And then we put it into one of our trusted charter programs. So for us, we're partnered with Conte Sport Fishing. It is one of the longest standing charter operations in Cabo San Lucas, right? So now you kind of tell us what your goals are, right? Do you want to offset costs? Do you want to, really try to turn a profit? Do you, what's your goals? Yes. And we'll cater it to you. And, then we put the boat into charter and, most people are down here, utilizing their vacation rental a couple times a month, so you come and utilize your property, and the rest of the time your boat is an asset.
Yeah, well, a sitting boat is a dying boat, right? You want that boat moving one way or another, and having Picante as your partner and be able to move that boat whenever you're not using it, it's great, man.
Exactly, and professional management is everything because it's the management side of stuff. We're going through every aspect of the boat consistently. The engines are consistently being ran. We're able to utilize this boat as an asset as opposed to just, a sitting liability.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's great. We've seen a lot of good traction with that. And it definitely opens up another avenue to people who may have been considering these caliber of boats, and we're maybe, I'm not going to use it all the time, or it's just going to sit or whatever. And, knowing that you have professional management, professional service, there's tax advantages to be able to do this. And also, the potential of charter revenue, it's a game changer. It opens up a lot of doors and possibilities to people who may otherwise not want to go that route. So we're stoked. Well, awesome, Andre. I appreciate you guys coming out, and man, we really appreciate the support, and we really look forward to showing our customers and showing the world what Pacific Icon and Everglades have to offer here in the Pacific.
Yeah, man, I'm not only excited for me, but for Everglades and the company. It's a great future ahead of us. They're building fantastic things over here in Baja. I think it's going to be just a great place to visit. Boating is going to change in a few years in a positive way. It's going to just grow exponentially. Just the developments here are going to encourage that very strongly, and I think it's going to be a game changer. And having all these tools with you and with the team that you're building is going to be a no-brainer to turn to you.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing huge progress and making huge strides in Southern California. We just saw a couple boats down here, a couple Everglades sitting and ready to rock and roll here in Baja California and in Costa Rica as well. So we're stoked, we're excited, and you get ready, guys, because Everglades is about to take over Latin America.
Let's go.
All right, thanks, guys, for joining. We appreciate it. This has been another episode of the Pushing Limits podcast.
Thank you.